Okay, so we're doing some more viewer tattoos. I think this is episode 100, so if we're going to do any kind of a best of, it might be after this, but we'll see. I'll just ask people again to let me know your favorites in the comments section if you have any. If you have any interest in a best or worst of Remy Reacts
right?
at all. Because, could be fun.
Let's go. Maybe one day we'll react to my tattoos that I do.
Yeah, we could do that, but I don't know if you want that. I might not live after.
We already ripped them apart as it is. So this one says, "Hey Remy, this is my latest and start to my horror sleeve done by J. Sal at Sacred Marks, New Jersey. NJ, New Jersey, I'd say. I'm adding Freddy, Ghostface, and Mike Myers in the next coming weeks. I like this one.
Look at the wood grain.
Yeah.
Hey?
It's a real nice wood grain.
Who doesn't want to talk? That's where like 4 guys come around and they all just look and they're like, I like the wood grain.
Yeah. The artists at our shop are really guilty of things like this. We'll all just stand around a tattoo and be like, I like the thing.
Yeah, well, that's what you do, right?
Right? And then we're all just... Or if they don't all stand around and do it, they gather behind me and stare at me and try and freak me out.
Oh, we did that to Ashlyn, too.
Yeah.
That's the thing you do to new apprentices. Because then they think they're doing something wrong.
Terry does it to me all the time. Anyways.
Oh, that's good.
This is really cool. I really like this tattoo.
Yeah, I do.
Very monotone, though.
It's the problem is, like, I know what these washes look like when they're healed, and the problem is, like, yes, the sign is going to be nice and light, and so is the mask, but they're too close to the same value, and the way that the wood grain is shaded and the way that the mask are shaded, they look like they're the same texture, right? Like there's not enough difference in how these things were done for them to show as a different texture. And that's kind of a nitpick, but it's also like when you have the ability to do these textures, and he's even done it in the top of the sign, the little black stitching that they have up there.
Yeah. Like
when you have the ability to do those textures, and show different textures in this tattoo. It's kind of strange that the mask and the wood grain look very similar. It's kind of like, why did they do it that way? Because you can tell that they could have done it a different way, right? I don't think that it's going to look different enough in the long run. So that's my nitpick here. Otherwise, I really like this. And they got some really cool depth in the eyes.
Yeah, I think so too.
And there is nice solid black in here. I just think maybe they didn't leave any negative space, like pretty well anywhere.
Not enough skin.
They're afraid to leave negative space. And it looks a bit congested. And even though those washes are going to lighten up a lot, it just, if they had have come to a more of a, I don't know, negative gradient at the end, you know, where they have that light around the holes in the mask at the bottom. You need a little more of that some places, you know?
Right.
Because that looks nice where they do have it, and the white highlights look nice where they do have them, but...
I think the right tip of the nose, I want to see more of that all over the tattoo.
There's just not enough...
There's like some perfect skin there, and then we go into all the like darkness.
Yeah, I like the little black that they did around the mask, though, to separate it off of the wood.
Yeah, well...
That's a nice halo effect that they have there. And that's where you see it didn't really need to be lined so much, you know? They shaded it to create that texture, the differential. But, I mean, it's a nice tattoo, and I'm always going to go harder on the good ones because there's more room to, right?
Yeah.
So...
All right.
So I found the email attached to this arm that we seen earlier. We just seen one picture of it earlier. And I figured we may as well give some backstory to it.
So this one says, "Hey Remy, I've covered a lot of my left forearm in a few weeks, mainly just having fun at the shop. Wondering what you think about my patchwork half sleeve. I want it to be very black saturated and I want it to flow beautifully. I already know everything else that is going to go into the blank spaces, but I was wondering what you think so far. The shark is brand new. Got it as of last night."
So we did feature a picture of this arm. For whatever reason, I only had one. Something must have gone wrong somewhere. we didn't see the shark at all, and I don't think we seen the masks or the hand. I think we just seen the outside of this. So these are, for the most part, new tattoos to us. I mean, I think this is a decent way to do a patchwork sleeve. And if you have the plan already that it's just about getting there,
Yep.
I think I'd probably be able to give a better critique when we got it all done then. Because, like, this outside bit that we seen with the dice and the wolf face and the panther and all that shit, like, that's worse, I think, than the inside.
Yeah, I think they're all very tonally the same, though. I like that.
Well, that's, yeah, they're doing like a black and gray trad
Yeah.
sticker sleeve. But you were placing one of these the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's to be asymmetrical. This is a good shot of, like, kind of what that looks like.
Right? Well, usually it happens organically, right? Not you.
Not these
Don't,
days.
no, yeah.
No, these days people try and do that on purpose.
Yeah.
And whereas, like, your arm or my legs, my old legs, is a great example. That's the look.
Yeah, I have
It's
this
just
space. Let's fill it.
Random junk all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, you end up with a mishmash of different styles and things like this, where this looks like almost too intentionally done, right? Like, it's too perfect to have arrived there over time, kind of casually. And well, it does have a look. I don't think it quite captures the insanity and ADD nature of a true patchwork sleeve that's just kind of arrives at its own, because those things are always like, some of them are better done than others.
Yeah.
Like the ghost on your arm, like that thing is terribly done,
Right.
right? The little trick-or-treat ghost.
Yeah.
And like other ones are blown out in places, they have thicker or thinner lines, right? Like it's just a schmorg.
Yeah,
Like
got a schmorg.
You arrive at that result naturally over years.
Yeah, I just put shit places.
It's hard to have one tattooer do things that look inconsistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like a sticker sleeve should look inconsistent. That's the nature of them.
That's what makes them fun.
That's what makes them fun. And that's kind of the charm that they have. So when you go about it specifically trying to kind of create that look and curate that look, they end up looking more uniform than they would if you got there organically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit hard to get that essence that way.
Yeah,
Like, it's more fun to collect them as you go, you know?
I think so too.
But for the people who like this look, like, I'm not saying anything bad about the way this looks. It doesn't quite look the way that it would look if you got there conventionally.
Right.
It's the same thing as that guy who wanted, like, the old biker tattoo style. You kind of have to be an old biker tattoo to get that look.
Yeah, yeah. And prison tattoos can only be done in prison.
Yeah, it's hard to ape that style, right?
Yeah.
There's a certain reason why things look the way they do.
Yeah, I think so too.
So this guy is from local. We got some Chaiwan tattoos. And,
So Calgary is our close city,
yeah,
big city.
yeah. And people talk about Chaiwan all the time. He's like the #1 realism artist that people talk about around here.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I've heard all about Chaiwan. Like
Oh.
like Kevin used to talk about Chaiwan all the time. It was like we would barely go a day without him bringing up a tattoo that this guy's done.
What shop is he out of?
I
Or
don't
has he got his
actually
own
even
shop,
know.
or-
You just hear the name.
Oh, interesting.
So I mean, like, it would have been nice to have some kind of context to this. And though I know this is a good tattoo, I fucking hate these
The way it's photographed?
filters, and like it's like it's taken in space. Like, I hate this like black curtain thing that tattooers do with the polarized lens, and it's just like they desaturate the fuck out of it, and it looks like it was taken in outer space.
Right.
Like, this is not what a tattoo looks like.
I want to see this in the wild.
Well, where the hell are you ever gonna find it looking like this?
You're not.
And it's done this way because people think that, oh, if I don't do it that way, then people will think, oh, well, he hurt me or something, or he hurt them because it's red or some fucking thing. I wish we could all just get into this, like, mindset of just showing the tattoo as it is.
Yeah, it's going to be
Because-
red.
Like, the pictures that I post that Rick takes are terrible.
Yeah.
But they go up.
Well,
They all go up. And it's like, that's the picture we got,
right?
you know?
And you know what? The other thing is, too, is, like, I've answered this question a couple times when I'm tattooing people where they're like, oh, like, the shading, will it be black and gray, and I'm like, yeah, there's blood in it right now.
Yeah, people.
Because we've
client that-
edited photos so much that when you're like shading a tattoo and it has that little bit of a brownie tinge, do you know?
There was a client in here, and I bought her one of the tattooers that work here. I bought her a big jug of red paint for Christmas because she's had actually a few customers say, "Did you use red in my tattoo?" And so I've teased her, and I'm like, "You gotta stop using red in all your tattoos." So, but the running gag is like, "Oh, you use red all the time, so
Yeah.
I got you some red paint," you know?
Yeah. But
Because
like,
customers will often, especially with white highlights.
oh yeah, because
Is it supposed to
it
be
bleeds,
red?
it gets blood in it, but everybody's editing that out. So
Yep.
people who aren't in the tattoo don't know that that's the thing.
Particularly the case with black and gray tattoos that all those light washes are going to look, you know,
A
pretty
little-
red.
Yeah, they're
because
a little
there's not
brownie
well,
toned.
there's not a lot of pigment in there.
No.
So there's almost nothing coloring the skin. It's just traumaed,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit of ink in. Well, there's the right amount of ink in there, but it's not very pigment dense, so it doesn't like block the redness. Where with a color tattoo, you'll just have the red around the perimeter for the most part.
Yeah.
Early on, when you're putting in yellow and white and like light blue and, you know, light tones, you'll see that pinky blood kind of coloring it.
Oh yeah, yellow always goes like orange,
And
I'm
that
always
makes it
like,
a little bit hard to
it's
tattoo
gonna be
too.
yellow. It's not gonna be orange.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, this is great work, and there's really nothing else you can say about it. I really like the subject matter, but this guy can do this with pretty well any subject matter,
Yeah.
so it's not like it matters.
And he does like his
Contrast.
layouts are beautiful, his contrast beautiful. He's got smooth shading.
But like I've seen a ton of these because, like I said, Kevin was always he'd just come over and he'd just have a picture and he's like,
nerd
dude,
out about
look
it.
look at that, and it's like, yeah, I've seen it, but like for me, really high quality black and gray it's nice. I like it. It's striking, but I've seen so much of it that it's hard to move the needle for me.
Yeah.
Like I do see so much of this, especially we're in a black and gray shop, and
Yeah. Black
Lee
and gray
has
realism shop.
Lee is
World
a big
class.
world-class artist himself, and then he has world-class black and gray artists coming in and out of the place all
He's
the time.
had some pretty great color ones come in.
Oh yeah, I know. He's got quite a few of those too. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't follow the Rocky Mountain Tattoo page, like they get some real like ballers in every now and then.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain Kelowna, they've had some pretty crazy
Yeah.
artists over there. I
And
wish
they
I
will
could go look
continue
over
to.
their shoulder for a bit.
But I mean, like I said, to take nothing away from this is a master class of what you can do with black and gray for sure. And there isn't really a lot bad to say about it, and that's why we've ended up talking about more other stuff. But yeah, this guy is fairly local to us, so I've seen a lot of his work